with a hard R.
Check this out. I just want to tell you this story real quick. I just been thinking about this shit. So I used to mess with this black chick, fine as hell, bad, to my super bad. Freaking in the morning. And we still communicate to this day. We just, she do her thing. We don't have sex no more. But she told me, I want to role play. I want you to call me the N-word. I say, listen, I'm down to do a lot of shit, but I don't feel comfortable. I don't do that. I'm not on that. I don't feel comfortable. She was on some real weird on like, yeah, I'm your slave. I'm your, yeah, like that. I'm your slave and you the master type shit. I say, man, listen, I can be a lot of shit, but that I'm not gonna feel comfortable in that thing and having to call you that. That ain't what I can't do that. That's crazy. I just had to share that shit, motherfucker. But that's all I got, man.
We all know white men are the most desired ethnic group of men in this country. What happens is black women understand that they have to compete for that white man. But y'all have no problem competing for those white men. But when it comes to black men, y'all feel like we should just kiss our ass and accept all the bad behavior and everything. I've heard black women say that they had to tone down their blackness in order to be with a white man.
And
that to me is crazy.
Oh, if you're black, nothing for you. But if you're white, there's something for you. In their world, white is right, but black is wrong. If you're black, nothing for you. If you're white, there's plenty for you. Desperate babes on the prowl, in search of a white man. The white man, white man, a white man, white man. In search of a whitey, a whitey, whitey, a whitey, whitey.
I'm starting to wonder, black women who talk about how different their interactions are when they date men of their own community versus when they date non-black men, I'm starting to wonder how much of those different interactions have to do with how the black woman herself is showing up. And let me explain. By and large, black people don't trust each other. We just don't. Black women don't trust black men, vice versa, by and large. I'm not saying this is everybody, but I'm saying in the culture, there's a lot of distrust. There's a lot of just challenges, issues. And so I think sometimes even unknowingly, right, when a black person is interacting with another black person, when a black woman is interacting with another black man, right, there's already all of this stuff in the back of her head, interactions she's had with her dad, her uncles, her family, good, bad, ugly, right? And because a lot of black folks are traumatized, sometimes we are taught, as black women, we are taught to not trust our men. We are taught to go into relationships with the expectation of how do I protect myself unless he gets out of line? Like that, we're taught like that. And so I truly believe there are a lot of women who could be going into interactions with black men, going in trying to get to know them or whatever, and they're already super guarded. They're already super masculine. They're not coming really in their full feminine frame because they feel like they have to protect themselves. Oh, but let it be a white man, or let it be somebody outside of the race where there's not that like that direct, interaction. And there's all these ideas about how they're supposed to be or who they are based upon social media and television shows or whatever. And I believe a lot of these women are just showing up differently. I'm not saying this is always the case, but I do believe that, you have certain women who, black men, there's that guarded, but then it's a white man or somebody else, then she's going to be more feminine, she's going to be more open, she's going to be more happy or more jovial. I've seen this. I've literally seen this. There's been someone who've actually admitted this. And again, I'm not saying that's every case, but I just wonder how often these different interactions that these ladies say that they get when it comes to, oh, white man treats me so like a lady, but these black women, I'm like, how much of that has to do with the fact that these ladies are showing up differently? The way in which they're interacting with the black men is not the same way they're interacting. The energy is different. The trust is not there. And sometimes it's not even what's said, it's what's not said. It's the intangible. It's the way you carry yourself, like it's the facial expressions, like it's the body expressions, like sometimes it's not even necessarily what's said as much as it's the way a person can present themselves. And I just have to wonder, I'm like, are these ladies coming with the same energy, with the same perspective, with the same lack of guardedness, with the same, femininity, if you will? Or are they bringing different versions of themselves, but then surprised that they don't have the same results? I'm just curious on this. I could be wrong, but it's something I've really been thinking about as I've been noticing different trends. So many of you guys had a lot to say about my video where I talked about Black women showing up more feminine with white men. Or put another way, Black women putting their best foot forward when they are dating men of other races. Now, I wanted to show you guys an example. This is an anecdotal example, but an example of a Black woman who admits that she was more feminine or that she was more considerate or overall more respectful when she dated men outside of her race. Let's look at what she has to say. Let's read what this woman has to say. Okay, so it reads, "To be honest, when I dated this white guy, I was on my best behavior. Didn't want to come off ghetto, didn't want to seem uneducated or loud, so in a sense, I kind of submitted. Now when I'm with a Black man, I can curse him out because we both know the struggle and I'm already assuming I know his behavior. Before anyone attacked me, I was so wrong for this. There's things I did for the white guy I should have done for the Black man, honestly." Y'all see what I'm saying? Now, of course, this was just one anecdotal example, but there are other women who will admit to this. And that is my whole point. I'm not out here to shame 81 or even say that this is all Black women or that everybody thinks this way. No. But what I'm doing is just pointing to the different ways that sometimes we don't even show up for ourselves. Sometimes the way we don't even respect ourselves. I mean, I believe there are a lot of ladies out there today who they don't trust men because they may have daddy issues or they had such negative experiences with Black men in their own life that when they now show up as an adult, they're just triggered from what happened when daddy wasn't there or he was there or uncle or grandpa or whatever. Like they're triggered from the men in their own community. And then you couple that with a society that definitely still has some anti-Black rhetoric. You couple that with a culture that still has racism that it's dealing with, right? And it is a reason for women to just not respect themselves or respect their own men because the culture already cultivates that. So again, I'm not saying this is everybody. This isn't always the case. And yeah, there's gonna be people out who in my comment section just like, no, that's not me. You know, I love my Black man, I love my community, I love myself, etc., etc. Good for you. But for those out there who do struggle or who are honest enough to admit that they have a way of idealizing others and forgetting that other people, other cultures still have their own issues themselves, that we could be honest with the way in which we don't always treat our own right. And as I mentioned before, ladies who talk about having better treatment from other races of men can now start to ask themselves, or are they giving men, even of their own culture, the same level of decency and respect that they might give somebody who's not Black?
I'm really excited to announce my new kids book, Aisha Learns to Love Her Hair. Aisha's hair is stunning, but she struggles to see its beauty. Through encouragement and wisdom from Grandma Lily, Aisha learns powerful lessons about self-acceptance. Aisha's journey is a heartwarming tale of family, culture, and confidence. Share her magical journey with your little loved one today, available for purchase.